Imagine sitting beneath the vast night sky thousands of years ago, stars flickering softly above as you gather around a crackling fire. A storyteller begins to speak, sharing tales of mighty gods, daring heroes, and mysterious creatures that feel both distant and strangely familiar. Greek mythology began just like this. Stories whispered from generation to generation, helping people make sense of the world, teaching lessons about life, and gently revealing truths about what it means to be human. These myths were never just entertainment. They became quietly woven into the very fabric of how humanity has understood itself for millennia. In these tales, gods live high atop Mount Olympus, heroes set out on impossible journeys, and ordinary people confront extraordinary challenges. The ancient Greeks looked to these stories to explain everything from thunderstorms caused by the powerful Zeus to the changing seasons, marked by Persephone's annual journey to the underworld. But beyond these explanations, mythology offered guidance about love, courage, wisdom, and fate, helping people understand not just the natural world, but themselves. You might not realize it, but these ancient myths quietly surround us, even today. When we speak of someone's Achilles heel, or describe a difficult task as Herculean, we're referencing these age-old stories, often without thinking about it. Greek mythology has left subtle marks on our language, literature, psychology, and popular culture, shaping how we think and communicate. In this video, we'll explore the fascinating world of Greek mythology together, from the very creation of the universe, through the adventures of gods and heroes, to the dramatic stories of humans who dared to challenge their fates. You'll meet Zeus, king of the gods, Athena, goddess of wisdom, Poseidon, lord of the seas, and heroes like brave Heracles, cunning Odysseus, and courageous Achilles. Along the way, we'll dive into epic quests, tragic romances, thrilling adventures, and quiet lessons that still resonate thousands of years later. As always, there's no need to focus on visuals or the screen. Think of this as a cozy storytelling session, ideal for relaxing, winding down, or simply letting your imagination drift as you listen along. Whether you're settling in for a peaceful evening, doing some work, or just curious about these ancient tales, feel free to get comfy, grab a snack, and let these stories gently guide you. So gather around the fire, so to speak, as we embark on this journey together, stepping into an ancient world filled with mystery, adventure, and timeless wisdom. By the end of our journey, you'll have explored Greek mythology from start to finish, and you'll understand why these captivating stories continue to quietly speak to us, thousands of years after they were first told. Let's jump in. Long before the first sunrise lit the sky, before the first wave broke on any shore, there existed only chaos. But this chaos wasn't the kind of chaos we might think of today. No wars, no disasters, no confusion, just an empty void, vast and silent, stretching endlessly into darkness. Imagine yourself back then, sitting around a small campfire on a quiet night, as an elder begins this tale, their voice low but clear, weaving together the very first story ever told. From this endless nothingness, something extraordinary began to happen. Out of the silence emerged the very first being, Gaia, the Earth Mother. She was immense, powerful, and alive in every sense of the word. She wasn't simply the ground beneath your feet. She was the spirit and body of the earth itself. As Gaia awoke, mountains rose from her form, valleys stretched out, and vast plains opened wide. She became the solid foundation of the world, patiently waiting for life to grow. But the earth was not alone for long. Soon after Gaia emerged, another being quietly formed from the darkness. Deep beneath Gaia herself, deeper than any cave or canyon, appeared Tartarus, a place so distant, so dark, it lay far beneath the earth. Tartarus was a shadowy abyss, hidden from sight, and forever separated from the surface world. Even to the ancient Greeks, its depth was unimaginable, its darkness absolute. It was a place that would one day imprison powerful beings, but for now, it simply existed, silent, hidden, and waiting. Gaia, however, still held within herself the desire to create and shape the world. From her own being, she brought forth Uranus, the sky, who spread himself endlessly above her. Imagine the first sky stretching out for the very first time, open, vast, and filled with quiet majesty. Uranus covered Gaia completely, sheltering her beneath a dome of infinite expanse, filled with stars, the moon, and all that we now see when we look upward at night. Earth and sky, Gaia and Uranus, existed together, forever joined yet always separated, partners in the earliest chapter of existence. Still, Gaia's creativity wasn't finished. Without a partner, she produced yet another child. Pontus, the sea. Waters began to flow, quietly covering large portions of her surface. The endless ocean stretched out from her form, calm and mighty at once, meeting the horizon beneath Uranus's watchful gaze. Pontus embodied the vast, unknown waters, an elemental being who existed alongside his mother Gaia, his presence ensuring that the earth was not simply dry land, but balanced by the power and mystery of the seas. Now, let's pause a moment to picture these primordial beings clearly, as the ancient Greeks might have. Gaia, the earth, firm and patient beneath your feet. Uranus, the boundless sky stretching endlessly above. Pontus, the endless sea surrounding you, powerful yet calm. And Tartarus, the dark abyss lying unseen and unknowable far beneath. These were not gods in the sense we usually think of them, living on Mount Olympus and interacting directly with humans. Instead, they were ancient, powerful beings who quietly shaped the very fabric of reality. These four, Gaia, Uranus, Pontus, and Tartarus, were among the first great powers of existence, each with their distinct realms. Gaia represented stability, the nurturing ground where all life would soon flourish. Uranus was infinite expanse, the realm of stars, planets, and celestial mysteries, forever out of reach, yet always present. Pontus was the endless ocean, deep and unknowable, surrounding and sustaining the world. And Tartarus was the quiet darkness deep below, the hidden place that held secrets none could fathom. Together, these ancient beings formed the world as the Greeks knew it, long before humans ever walked the earth. Each had a clear role, each quietly holding sway over a part of existence, bringing balance and structure from the emptiness of chaos. Sitting around our imaginary campfire, listening to this tale, we can sense why the ancient Greeks found comfort and wonder in these stories. This was their way of understanding where everything began. The earth beneath their feet, the sky above their heads, the ocean that surrounded them, and the mysterious darkness they could never fully comprehend. Now, with these primordial beings established, their stories would soon become more complicated, involving their offspring, conflicts, and new generations of powerful gods and heroes. But for now, our tale remains focused simply on this first act of creation. Gaia emerging from chaos, bringing forth Uranus, Pontus, and Tartarus, quietly setting the stage for everything that followed. These primordial forces were not worshipped or approached in quite the same way as later gods. They were more distant, powerful entities, respected, feared, and admired for their immense strength, but also mysterious and remote, seldom directly involved in human lives. Instead, they represented the essential building blocks of the world, giving context to everything that would later unfold. They shaped the cosmos long before gods, heroes, or mortals walked the earth. Their presence is felt quietly in every myth and legend that follows, underlying all future tales as the silent foundation on which the universe rests. And so, gathered around our ancient campfire, beneath a sky now filled with stars, we sit in quiet awe, imagining these beings, and how it must have felt to witness the world's creation unfolding for the very first time. This is just the beginning. There are many more stories to tell. But the mysteries of how the world first took shape, emerging slowly and silently from chaos, will always be among the most powerful and profound ever told. Long after the first beings emerged from chaos, Gaia, the earth, Uranus, the sky, Pontus, the sea, and Tartarus, the dark abyss, a new generation of powerful figures appeared. These were the Titans, mighty beings born of Gaia and Uranus, who came to rule over the early cosmos. Together, Gaia and Uranus brought 12 Titans into existence. Each Titan possessed immense power and had a unique role within the early universe. Oceanus, eldest of the Titans, embodied the endless waters that encircled the earth, his immense and winding rivers quietly nourishing every corner of the world. Hyperion was the brilliant Titan of heavenly light, illuminating existence with the sun's warmth, the moon's glow, and the gentle radiance of the dawn. Cronus, guardian of celestial wisdom, quietly watched over the mysteries of stars and constellations, while his brother Creus presided over the movement and positions of those celestial bodies, bringing order to the night sky. Iapetus stood as a symbol of mortal life and its trials, a representation of human endurance and resilience that would come to influence later generations. Then there was Cronus, the youngest of the Titans, whose quiet strength was matched only by his deep ambition. Alongside Cronus stood Rhea, gentle yet formidable, who embodied motherhood and fertility. Themis, guardian of divine law and order, whose wisdom would guide the very fabric of justice. Mnemosyne, keeper of memory, quietly ensuring that tales and knowledge would survive. Tethys, Oceanus's companion, who nurtured countless freshwater springs and rivers. Theia, whose gentle brilliance made precious metals and gems sparkle, illuminating the natural beauty of the world. Phoebe, who represented prophetic wisdom and the deeper truths of existence, illuminating the minds of gods and mortals alike. Yet among these powerful siblings, it was Cronus who held a destiny unlike any other. While the other Titans ruled peacefully in their domains, Uranus, their father and the ruler of the cosmos, looked upon his offspring with growing dread. Each child was strong, mighty, and full of potential, too much potential, in the eyes of the fearful sky god. Uranus, deeply unsettled by their strength, imprisoned Gaia's other offspring, particularly the mighty Cyclopes, one-eyed giants of incredible craftsmanship, and the formidable Hecaton Hyres, beings with 50 heads and 100 powerful arms, deep within Tartarus. Gaia, heartbroken and grieving deeply for the children trapped beneath her surface, suffered endlessly. Their imprisonment was a constant pain she silently endured, yet her sorrow soon hardened into quiet determination. Resolving to free her children and end Uranus's cruelty, Gaia crafted a weapon, a sharp, curved sickle forged from adamant, a substance so strong it could cut even a god. She approached each Titan in turn, imploring them to stand against Uranus and free their siblings. But each of them hesitated, fearful of Uranus's immense power. Only Cronus, the youngest yet bravest, agreed to take on this dangerous task. Accepting the sickle, Cronus prepared himself for the decisive moment that would change the cosmos forever. When Uranus next descended upon Gaia, Cronus was ready. Waiting quietly and hidden in darkness, he watched his father approach the earth. As Uranus extended himself over Gaia, Cronus swiftly struck, wielding the adamant sickle and wounding his father deeply. With this single act, Uranus was overthrown. His power and reign ended in an instant. As the defeated sky god fell away, he uttered a terrible curse upon Cronus, foretelling that one day Cronus would suffer the same fate, betrayed and overthrown by one of his own children. Ignoring this dark prophecy in the glow of victory, Cronus took command of the cosmos. His rule was powerful, authoritative, yet quiet and measured. Alongside his siblings, he ushered in the era known as the Golden Age, a time of peace, harmony, and abundance. Under his leadership, the earth provided effortlessly, crops flourished without human labor, rivers flowed gently and reliably, and the very world seemed tranquil and stable. Cronus married his sister, Rhea, whose nurturing spirit and quiet strength complemented his powerful yet anxious nature. Together, they oversaw an era where the cosmos thrived under gentle order, yet Cronus remained troubled by his father's ominous words. Haunted by the prophecy, Cronus became increasingly suspicious, always wary of the threat he believed his children might pose. Each time Rhea gave birth, Cronus, his heart darkened by paranoia, would immediately seize the newborn child and swallow it whole, imprisoning his offspring deep within himself, a place he believed no prophecy could reach. Rhea watched helplessly, her heart breaking each time her children vanished within Cronus's depths. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, all swallowed whole, their fates unknown, lost within their father's belly. But when Rhea found herself expecting another child, she resolved fiercely that she would protect this one at any cost. As the birth drew near, she secretly traveled far from Cronus's watchful eye to the distant island of Crete. There, in a quiet cave hidden among the rugged cliffs and shaded by thick forest, she gave birth to a son, Zeus. With her newborn safe, Rhea crafted a clever deception. Wrapping a smooth, heavy stone in swaddling clothes, she returned home and presented it to Cronus as their new child. Cronus, blinded by fear and suspicion, swallowed the stone without hesitation, satisfied he had once again prevented his father's prophecy from coming true. Meanwhile, Zeus was hidden safely away on the rugged slopes of Mount Ida in Crete, far from Cronus's watchful eyes. In a secluded cave tucked high among rocky cliffs and sheltered by dense forests, the infant god grew, tended carefully by the gentle goat Amalthea. Her milk nourished him, giving Zeus strength and vitality. Her care became legendary, so much so that her broken horn became the cornucopia, forever symbolizing abundance and prosperity. But Amalthea wasn't Zeus's only protector. To ensure Cronus would never hear the child's cries, a group of fierce warriors known as the Curetes took on a sacred duty. Whenever Zeus wept, the Curetes would clash their weapons, banging swords against bronze shields, creating a powerful cacophony that echoed loudly through the mountains. To an outsider, this racket appeared as a mere display of military practice or battle drills. Yet, in truth, each ringing clash of metal masked the infant's cries, shielding the hidden god from Cronus's relentless paranoia. Zeus thrived under this careful protection. As years passed, the small, helpless child became a formidable youth, strong and determined. His upbringing amidst Crete's rugged wilderness forged him into a capable and intelligent figure. Every day he trained himself, climbing steep cliffs and running tirelessly through dense forests. He learned from nature itself, studying the movements of storms, the strength of the wind, and the subtle changes of the sky. Even in his youth, he seemed destined to master the heavens, commanding the very elements around him with an instinctive ease. When Zeus finally came of age, fully aware of the grim fate awaiting his siblings, he began quietly plotting how to confront Cronus and bring justice to the imprisoned gods. But Zeus knew physical strength alone would never suffice. Cronus, after all, was powerful, cunning, and vigilant. To defeat him, Zeus needed wisdom, cunning, and subtlety, qualities he found in abundance within the Titaness Metis, a figure famed throughout the cosmos for her intelligence, cleverness, and resourceful insight. Metis quickly recognized Zeus's potential, seeing in him the leader who could finally overthrow Cronus's tyranny. Together, they devised a careful, intricate plan to rescue Zeus's siblings. Metis, expert in herbs and potions, crafted a powerful elixir designed to reverse Cronus's cruel deeds. This potion held the unique power to force Cronus to release the siblings he had swallowed, restoring their strength and form. With Metis's guidance, Zeus disguised himself, carefully adopting the humble appearance of a young cupbearer, innocent, loyal, and entirely beneath Cronus's suspicion. One evening, as Cronus sat upon his throne, surrounded by his Titan siblings, Zeus approached quietly, presenting his father with a goblet filled with sweet wine, cunningly laced with Metis's potent elixir. Cronus, suspecting nothing and believing himself secure, drank deeply from the cup. Immediately, a fierce pain seized him, racking his mighty form and forcing him into uncontrollable agony. One by one, he released Zeus's siblings: Hestia, the gentle goddess of the hearth; Demeter, wise protector of harvests; Hera, whose strength would one day rule Olympus by Zeus's side; Hades, destined lord of the underworld; and Poseidon, future king of seas and storms, all now fully grown, powerful, and prepared for vengeance. United at last, Zeus and his newly freed siblings swore a solemn oath to end Cronus's reign and restore balance to the cosmos. Thus began the brutal and legendary Titanomachy, a fierce war between the Titans of old and the new Olympian gods. The fighting raged furiously, each battle shaking mountains, leveling forests, and reshaping the earth itself. For 10 exhausting years, neither side gained a decisive advantage. Titans and Olympians battled relentlessly, wielding strength that left the very skies trembling. Yet, even Zeus realized that sheer power alone wasn't enough. Victory demanded even stronger allies. He remembered the imprisoned siblings of Gaia, the Cyclopes and the mighty Cronus, who languished deep within Tartarus. Zeus bravely descended into that dark abyss, a place so foreboding that even gods rarely dared approach it. Within the shadows of Tartarus, Zeus found and freed the grateful Cyclopes and the Cronus, who eagerly pledged their allegiance, joining the battle with fierce dedication. To thank Zeus for their freedom, the Cyclopes, brilliant smiths of legendary skill, forged extraordinary weapons. For Zeus, they crafted thunderbolts, glowing weapons of lightning, imbued with such devastating power that no force could withstand them. Poseidon received a mighty trident capable of commanding the seas themselves, summoning storms and tidal waves at will. Hades was granted a magical helmet of darkness, enabling him to move unseen, striking from the shadows with deadly precision. Armed with these weapons, the Olympians surged forward in the war. The tide began to turn decisively, but the true game-changers were the towering Cronus. With their 100 powerful arms, they hurled enormous boulders and mountains at the Titans, who struggled to defend against this overwhelming assault. The combined power of Olympian gods, Cyclopean weapons, and the unstoppable strength of the 100-handed giants finally shattered Titan resistance. One by one, Cronus and his allies were captured and bound. Zeus, having achieved a hard-fought victory, judged the defeated Titans firmly but fairly. Cronus and his fellow Titans were cast down deep into Tartarus, imprisoned within the dark and endless abyss, forever guarded by the vigilant and formidable Cronus. Their imprisonment marked a decisive shift in cosmic order, ending the era of Titan rule once and for all. Now victorious and free from the looming threat of Cronus's prophecy, Zeus and his siblings established a new divine order. Zeus himself assumed the throne as king of gods, ruler of the vast heavens and the natural order of things. Poseidon became master of the oceans and waters, his mighty trident ensuring calm seas or fierce storms at his command. Hades quietly took dominion over the underworld, becoming its stern yet fair ruler, overseeing the realms of the departed. Hera, Zeus's sister and eventual queen, embodied loyalty, marriage, and divine order, guiding the relationships and interactions among gods and mortals alike. Demeter blessed the world with abundant harvests and fertile fields, nurturing humanity and providing the sustenance needed for civilization to thrive. Finally, Hestia watched over hearths and homes, a quiet yet ever-present force of warmth and security within families and communities. The defeat of Cronus and the Titans marked more than just a victory in battle. It represented a profound turning point in the balance of the cosmos. The Olympian gods reshaped the world in their image, establishing a new order that would endure for ages to come. Yet despite their defeat and imprisonment, the Titans were never completely forgotten. Their stories lingered quietly within myths and legends, reminders of a bygone era of primal power, formidable strength and fierce ambition. Even in defeat, their legacy lived on, influencing the Olympians and humanity itself in countless subtle ways. Thus ended the age of the Titans as Zeus's reign began, a reign that would echo throughout history, defining the world of gods and mortals forevermore. With the powerful Titans defeated and locked deep inside Tartarus, Zeus and his siblings had a huge task ahead: to rebuild the world and create order out of chaos. After 10 long years of war, it was finally time to bring peace and structure to both gods and mortals. The Olympians chose a towering mountain as their new home, a place known as Mount Olympus. Its peak was so high, covered in mist and snow, that it seemed to brush against the sky itself. Here, Zeus built a magnificent palace, gleaming with gold and silver, filled with marble halls and gardens full of beautiful, sweet-smelling flowers. Around the main hall stood thrones, each uniquely designed for the god or goddess who would sit there. Zeus, leader of the victorious Olympians, naturally became king of the gods, ruling over the skies. His throne sat highest, overlooking all below. The Cyclopes, grateful for their freedom, had crafted for him powerful lightning bolts, symbols of his great authority. Though Zeus was wise and mostly fair, he was also known to act impulsively, sometimes letting his emotions get the better of him, just like humans do. He became protector of justice, hospitality, and law, values deeply important to the Greeks. Poseidon, Zeus's mighty brother, took control of the seas and all waterways. He ruled from a dazzling underwater palace, crafted from coral and shimmering gems, hidden deep beneath the ocean near the mythical city of Atlantis. Sailors respected and feared Poseidon, praying to him before voyages, as his mood could quickly shift from calm to stormy. Armed with a trident, a powerful weapon made by the Cyclopes, he commanded storms, waves, and even earthquakes, proving his strength and unpredictable temper. The third brother, Hades, took charge of the underworld, a dark place hidden beneath the earth. Many feared him, thinking him cruel, but in reality, Hades was fair and quiet, simply ruling over the souls of the departed. Guarded by his 3-headed dog Cerberus, the gates of the underworld led to shadowy rivers and caverns, lit only by a pale glow. Hades moved unseen through both the human and divine worlds, thanks to a special helmet that made him invisible, quietly carrying out his duties. With the sky, sea, and underworld ruled by the brothers, the other Olympian gods stepped forward to play their own important roles in maintaining balance. Hera, Zeus's sister and queen, watched over marriage, families, and loyalty. Sitting next to Zeus, she kept a careful eye on the human world, fiercely protective of couples and families. But beneath her graceful presence, Hera often struggled with jealousy, especially due to Zeus's many affairs, which caused endless drama in their divine household. Demeter, gentle and caring, took responsibility for agriculture and the earth's fertility. It was she who ensured crops grew and seasons changed, making her essential for human survival. People worshipped her through festivals like the Eleusinian Mysteries, celebrating the cycle of life and rebirth. Quiet and humble Hestia became the guardian of the home and hearth. Apollo, bright and talented, became god of the sun, music, healing, and prophecy. Each morning he drove his shining golden chariot across the sky, bringing light and warmth to the world. Apollo's music on his golden lyre enchanted anyone who heard it, and people traveled great distances to visit his oracle at Delphi, seeking answers and guidance. His twin sister Artemis took charge of the moon, hunting, and wild places. Artemis was fiercely independent, roaming freely through forests and mountains with her deer and nymph companions. She protected nature and women, often helping with childbirth, but punishing those who disrespected her. Artemis's silver bow symbolized both purity and strength. Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, was born from ocean foam near the island of Cyprus. Her extraordinary beauty influenced gods and mortals alike, sparking passion and romance wherever she went. Married to the skilled but quiet Hephaestus, Aphrodite often caused